Hello everyone and welcome to ILR6 for round number 16 here at the Sochi Autodromo in Russia. My name is Leon, as you all should know. We're here for round 16 as I just mentioned. Sorry that the stream is up a few minutes late, I just had to finish off doing something but now we're here, ready for the start of this, you could say, weekend, even though it isn't in a way. Last week, I can't even remember it, I've got a memory like a sieve. Singapore, that was it. It was an interesting one, I remember now, because we had plenty of like crashes in the front field and a few surprise winners, I think it was. We had a few. Now, sorry I can't read the comments as currently I haven't actually got the stream up. I'm trying to. But it is not appearing, but for now we'll have to carry on like this. I'll get the standings up in a couple of minutes as well. Sochi, I think largely renowned for its boring nature as a circuit, as in it's not got much places to overtake. You've got a straight or two. And then it's just a bunch of 90-degree corners, which there are a lot of, I do have to admit. And the only real place where you can see a crash is probably turn one on that one, because that is where you tend to see people, if they're trying to get close by or if they've got a better start, just trying to nudge in. It could cause a pile up. I've seen it happen. So we'll have to see on that one. I do know Giroud is winning the championship. Let's get off, Scott. Let's at least show you something. There's yellow flags going around at the moment, but ayo. And also not many people have set lap times at the moment. We've got 19 people here today, and only 10 have set lap times so far as we're about to reach the halfway stage. Stiggy is still waiting for that safety car. He may get it one day. Around Sochi, though, I don't think so, as Nipro goes quickest by a full second with a 1:31.3. That is very good there from the Alfa Romeo, the championship leader. He did lose a few points. I believe it was to Patuka last week, because I know Nipro didn't finish in the points. But that is a strong showing so far. Cannot win the championship today, but might actually be able to win it before the Christmas break. I'm not sure. If you can win it before the Christmas break, then it will make the remainder of the season pretty boring. So I do want him to do well, as I want everyone else on the grid to do well. But I don't want him to win the championship just yet. I want to try and keep the excitement at least. Heavy T, a full second behind. He's on a lap though, his second lap, so we'll see what the Mercedes driver can do. He has got a McLaren in front, and he is actually down in the first two sectors, and it looks like he did just cut. I think it's turn 13 that is, I'm not too sure. I haven't got a track layout up yet, so I can't really tell you. Patuka, 32.1. Still 8 tenths off Nipro. Nipro seemingly loves this track. If Nipro can get a win here, the championship is basically settled. It basically is already. The gap, I think, being about 98 points. I will obviously get confirmation soon. But yeah, Nipro is in firm control of the championship and looks like he's going to win it. Null's been DSQ'd. I'm not sure how. I wasn't actually here. I was in the lobby, but I wasn't actually looking when he got DQ'd, so yeah. Unfortunate events for Nipro's teammate. But I think they may bag the constructors fairly soon as well. There's Patuka, yeah, 1.5 seconds down. Jaruru up by basically 2/10 in the first sector. We'll see what he can do in the middle. 1 second. I am back. I'll have to double check what that was because I couldn't see it. I think he was up by about half a second or something, I wasn't sure. I just closed my window. But we'll see what Jaruru can do. Coming around the penultimate corner now, 2 90-degree corners. This last corner though, you can really, if you want to get everything out your lap, as Jaruru was a little bit wide and deep, does a 32.2. However, through that final corner, if you really want to push it, you can just like floor it on the apex because the line is so short to that exit the final corner. You can just like go full speed. So yeah, I've not seen any drivers do it, but that is a tactic that I have found. Patuka's back out again. No, she's driving around now. We'll go down. We have got Scott, who won last week. Bear that in mind. Scott, I believe, won. I'm going to double check the standings now. Yeah, Scott was a winner. By quite a good margin as well. He stayed out, had at least a 20-second lead. He has just downshifted, so I think that's it for his lap there. But yeah, he did win his first win of the season, puts it up to 5th in the championship, and now I've got the championship standings up. I can go through them. So Nipro is leading, obviously on 204 points. Patuka is 90 points behind. Then you have got Jaruru, who's 91 points behind, and has not had the best last 3 races. Past 3 races, he's got 6 points. Out of a possible 75, he's got 6. And for a championship contender, not great, considering championship leader Nipro in the past 3 races has got 35 points. Patuka's not done that great either. Patuka's got 10. Scott's got 26. And the SD Mats has got 30. SD Mats, got to watch out for him as well. He's out on his outlap. He's done pretty well past 2 races. 2 podiums in a row, 2 third places in a row, and he's looking like he's doing pretty well. B is up into 4th. So, yeah, OMGB has creeped his way up into 4th. With only having 3 podiums this season, good recent form as well. Actually, I think he's got the best, yeah. So, out of the past 3 races, if you add the points tally up, then B is 15 in Belgium, 18 in Italy, so that's 33 off the bat, plus 8 in Singapore, so 41 points out of a possible 75. And hasn't got a bad shot of actually getting 2nd place in the championship. I think 1st is a bit far. I think that's a bit far for everyone, but we'll have to wait and see. Constructors wise, I know I'm blabbering on, but I'm just waiting the time to go down for the final runs. Alfa Romeo obviously leading on 290 points, then Ferrari on 176, Mercedes 174, Haas 166, Toro Rosso 136, Renault 132, Racing Point 130, McLaren 116, Red Bull 92, and Williams 8. That battle from 2nd to 9th is still on. Red Bull, yeah, they're 80 odd points behind, but that's not that far constructors wise, 80 points, especially when there's 6 rounds, this one included, to go. So yeah, it is fairly close. Oh, what was that? That was a Red Bull there. Mr. Sneaky going a bit off the track, as we've got SD Mats here currently in 10th. He's coming around the final corner. This could be SD Mats' last lap. So around the final corner, ESD Mats to the line. It's a 33-1, which puts ESD Mats 10th. And Nipro looks like he's just going to fly off with this race. Not even been challenged one bit. Currently sat high with a 1:31.3. Lord Alarm is also retired as well. Didn't see that either. But most drivers are coming out now for the final laps. Mike is down, but can get back around. B is on a lap. JTX may have just finished one. No, just started one. Going with B is apparently 1.2 seconds up in the first sector. There's a Toro Rosso that could get in the way. I believe it's a Toro Rosso. It is, it's Mike. And up by 1.3 seconds now, so this is putting B into top 5 territory. See what the Ferrari driver can do. Now there's traffic, which B's going to have to contend with, but B around the final corner, what can B do? It's a 32.4 and into 5th place. I did say B will be challenging the top 5, and 5th they have got Giroud just on a lap, so is Patuka. So is basically everyone. JTX now up by 7/10. We'll see what the Mercedes driver can do. Coming through the final couple of corners. JTX has had 2 fourths this season, best finish this season, and got a 4th last week in Singapore. So we'll see what JTX can do. On the final corner, it's a 33.6, only good enough for 13th. Mike is actually going to get a big toe here off Giroud, who isn't next across the line. I believe that's a Red Bull. Is it Scott next across the line? No, it's going to be Muffin. We'll see what Muffin can do. Currently sat in 14th. Can he try and challenge the top 10? Carl Meds has gone up into 8th. The other Williams. Muffin only 12th. Now going back to Scott. Scott's coming through the final couple of corners with Giroud right behind. There's also another car in there. I didn't see. Speed Iceman goes 5th. That could have been the car I was on about. But Scott to the line does a 1:32.6. Girouru's off into the barriers. Oh, Girouru's lap's been completely finished. Mike's now gone 3rd. Nipro is currently up by a little margin around the final corner. Nipro to the line, a 1:31.3. It is slower in the end. Heavy T now 2nd. And I think B isn't on a lap. Yeah, so that is it for qualifying. Massive gap from 1st to 2nd. Looks pretty tense from 2nd down, but Nipro pole by 7/10. That is ridiculous. Seven tenths is absolutely crazy. But Nipro is on pole. Heavy T, someone who we've not seen, to be honest, for a pretty good while. Has just not had anything good for a while. Did get 5th in Singapore, but before Singapore, his last finish in the points was 2nd in Monaco. He's had 2 podiums, but he's only had 4 points finishes. But anyway, enough of me blabbering on about Heavy T. Nipro is on pole. Heavy T is 2nd on the front row as well. Patuka 3rd. So that could be an interesting twist. Mike 4th. Giroud 5th. Speed Iceman 6th. B 7th. Sneaky 8th. Carl Meds 9th. Not bad for Williams. Sticking in 10th. Outside the top 10 and get free choice of tyre is Scott, Joe, Bigsbury, Muffin, ESD Mats. Not good for SD Mats, that qualifying session. JTX, Leddy, Lord Alam and Null. Null's disqualified for some reason or another. I don't know. tyres dry. I believe the strategy is softer mediums. I'm not 100% sure. I've not actually seen, touched, driven Sochi at all. So, yeah. This is a good reference for me for ILR4 later on. Lovely to see my computer keyboard has stopped functioning, so I can't get a track guide up. Perfect time for my computer keyboard to back up. Nipro is a bit quick for this tier, ain't he? No, I wouldn't say so. He's just been consistent. He's never really had pole, and certainly not by that much. I'm guessing it's just a good track. I'll end up winning it anyway. I'm not sure. I've seriously not touched the track at all. I've not driven it on this game, so yeah, I'll have about 15 minutes practice after this race ends, unless we've got some safety cars, which I think Stiggy's going to be hoping for. But anyway, tyres, as you can all see, softs for the majority, apart from Bigsbury, ESD Mats and Leddy, who are going for the alternate, which will be mediums to softs. If I was to put a prediction down for the top three, Nipro to win it, obviously, Patuka second and Jaruru third, top three championship order. A bit boring, but it's a bit of a safe option. I do see Nipro absolutely flying away, as no one has left the session. As long as you can break into 90 degrees. I did mention that actually at the start of the stream. This track is full of 90 degree corners, like these two here, two 90 degree corners, a 90 degree chicane. And then these two, the final two corners, both 90 degree corners. Yeah, the final sector is essentially 90 degrees in corners. But Nipro is going to be the first to line up. Null is going to be holding everyone back, even though his car's not actually, or he's not actually here, but his car is. And Nipro has pulled a bit of a gap to the cars ahead, so colder tyres for the start. Starting on first isn't always the best around Sochi, because you have everyone behind you, and if they all get a good start, they'll get the toe off you. Very creative indeed. What the bloody hell's going on with the SD Mats? He's off his grid slot. I guess we'll ignore that. The SD Mats has kind of forgotten how to get on the grid properly. But anyway, here are the lights. You've got 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And away we go for the start of the Russian Grand Prix. And it looks like a pretty good start from Nipro there, but not a bad start from Heavy T either. Heavy T is practically side by side. Coming down into turn 2 is a Haas, switching to the right hand side. That's Patuka down the inside of both of them into turn 1. And Patuka takes the lead. Nipro's got off the track and overtaken someone. It is Patuka. Someone's off the back on. Jaruru is off. But Nipro and Heavy T going side by side. And Nipro takes the lead. Oh, Patuka's off into the barriers. Championship contenders off. Both of them. Jaruru's last. Patuka's got wing damage. This is going awfully wrong. Oh no! And contact there between Patuka and Mike. You've got Speed Iceman as well there in the background. Slight carnage there as you've got Mr. Sneaky and Stiggy going at it, as well as a Racing Point, and that is an absolute fantastic move from the Haas around the outside of the double left-hander. Oh, Mr. Sneaky's at the back of Stiggy. Oh, and there's more going off up ahead. Iceman and Mike are having a bit of a let's have a feel. And hello, you got Stiggy having a go at both of them here. Stiggy's going to have a go at Iceman as well. Down the inside goes Stiggy. Oh, slight contact there. He may have got wing damage there with Iceman. I'm not too sure, but absolute chaotic start. Joe and Sneaky, no. Joe and Mike going side by side through the double 90 degree corners. And around the outside, he keeps the position. We've got Scott losing positions left, right and centre. What is this in the midfield? There's someone pitting. It's Patuka. Oh, Scott down the inside of the final corner. Red Bull on Toro Rosso. Another front wing going. A bollard in the air. Jesus. Oh, my God. No, no, no. Big collision. And Scott is out. We've got big collisions now all over the place. There's another front wing going off there of a Renault. That's Giroux's front wing flying off. Absolute chaotic scenes. We've got a lot of pit stops going on. He's got Lord Alarm going down the inside. No, Giroux, I think, has got wing damage. I'm not sure. If he's gotten out of this without any wing damage, I will be surprised. And he actually has no wing damage. So Giroux is about to keep his front wing clean. And he's going to get past Lord Alarm. Aledi losing the back end as well. But yeah, Giroux up into 11th. We've now got JTX and the SD Mats going at it. Any more carnage we need to know about? But wow, that was a chaotic start. Apparently there was one in ILR8 as well. But now you've got JTX fighting the SD Mats again as they go side by side pretty much. Down this back straight. Perfect angle here from Giroux and into sector 3. JTX down the inside. The SD Mats is going to relinquish the position. JTX is up a position. Ooh. The SD Mats, however, not letting Giroux through, and Aledi's past Lord Alarm. Or has he? Yes, he has. And now you've got Noel, the AI, is passing Lord Alarm. Jesus, what an interesting race as Lord Alarm now pits. And DRS has been enabled, so Heavy T getting brought right back up to Nipro. There's a pretty big gap to Speed Iceman, so Heavy T doing quite well to keep up with Nipro. Then we've got a little bit of a train here. He's got Joe closing on Stiggy. Stiggy's found himself up into P4. Excellent start from the Haas driver. I don't think he wants a safety car at this rate. But here comes Joe. Joe's looking like he wants to have a look. He's not going to go for it into more 90-degree corners. As into a 90-degree corner, you don't really want to send it down the inside because it's a 90-degree corner. It's just 90 degrees. Oh, Speed Iceman with a bit of a wobble there coming out of the double left-hander. I will tell you the corner numbers, but my keyboard on my computer's decided to completely pack up at this moment. So I can't type, which is a bit of an issue. Now we've got Stiggy. Stiggy having a look. Stiggy having a look. No, you got Joe having a look at Stiggy though. Not going for it though. What is going on here? We've got Big Zuri and JTX going at it. And you've got Giroux passing the SD Mats. Giroux now finds himself up into the points. Oh, yellow flags. B is around. Where is that at? That is going on to the back straight. Horrendous there for B. Was on a good run of form, and I've probably commentators cursed him. Now down in last. But for Nipro, this could not go any better. The only way it could go better is if Giroux drops 2 positions as he actually passes his teammate. As we've got a SD Match trying to pass Bigsbury now. Not a good run out of turn 2 though. Bigsbury is able to maintain P10. Stiggy still on the back of Iceman. There's a 5-second gap to Heavy T and Nipro up front. These two showing excellent pace. Nipro we've already seen, but Heavy T has found a 9th gear. Seemingly, and like a 9th gear has been found on this Mercedes because he's really keeping up with Nipro and not letting Nipro get away. There's got Joe having a look at Stiggy again. Into sector 3. Can't get the move done. Stiggy is slightly struggling, I would say. We start lap 5 now. I think Heavy T's a bit far back. But is gaining a lot on that Alfa Romeo. Down to 4 tenths now is the gap. None of these guys are going to go for it. Stiggy's too far back. Oh, late on the brakes though. As Jaruru gets past JTX, Jaruru is flying up the grid. I thought JTX was actually going to lunge it there into turn 2. That'd have been an interesting one, as the SD Max with a bit of a squirmy exit. Aledi's going to have a bit of that. Aledi's going to go down the inside. The SD Max has left the door completely open, gone too far wide. Now down the inside. Oh, wow, I think that was slight contact there. And the SD Max gets the position back with a bit of a collision as well. Oh, Heavy T has lost a bit of time. So perhaps there was a mistake somewhere from the Mercedes driver, but he doesn't have to worry because he's got DRS just to help him catch back up a little bit. You've got Stiggy now, and look at Speed Iceman. Stiggy, is he going to go down the inside? Yes, he is. Down the inside. He got a penalty for it, but that's the risk. Russia is extremely strict on its penalties. So yeah, that's just how it goes. Iceman losing the back end all over the place. Heavy T with a big mistake somewhere. And has now lost the DRS. So Nipro may be just going to gloat away. Not gloat away, fly away. Now Stiggy is incredibly close to Speed Iceman. And Stiggy's going to get this move done fairly easily. Not going to fight it is Iceman. And Joe's now pretty close behind Iceman. He's not going to look around the outside of turn 4. Oh, he might. He's going to switch. Oh my god. He's trying it around the outside. That could have ended in calamity there when Joe went down the inside and Iceman closed the door. Jesus. That could have ended badly. But now Joe is looking to get past Iceman as Stiggy is getting away from these two. Oh, bit of lag there, bit of lag again. But now Joe with the DRS, they've both got DRS. It is essentially a drag race between the two of them. Oh, and Speed Iceman was ahead, now behind. Obviously there's a bit of lag as Big Zuri and Aledia going at it. Oh my god, that's big contact between the two. And Aledia gets the position done. One second. Rightio, I am back. We've got Joe who's starting to gain again on Stiggy. But Stiggy's starting to gain a bit on Heavy T, and Nipro obviously getting away from Heavy T as we did expect eventually. As Heavy T actually does pick up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. But to be honest, around this track, that is very easy to do. It's Russia. For some reason this game, it has been actually for many games, very strict, which is a bit confusing, but the drivers have to get used to it. Joe is really close to the back of Stiggy, but can't get the move done. There's another one going here between ESD Mats and Big Zuri. Big Zuri's not able to get the move done, however. ESD Mats desperately trying to get past Big Zuri. These two not doing too well, especially the SD Mertz. So we've got Joe now, who is right over the back of Stiggy and in down the inside into turn 2, it looks like. And it is for the racing point. Oh, a bit of contact. But no harm done there. Stiggy keeps the position for now. But defending from the Haas driver, he does not want to let this podium position slip. He knows if he can defend, keep his head down, this position / podium is his as it stands. Bear in mind, does have a penalty, which is obviously going to affect him as Sneaky picks up a penalty, but it's currently down in 15th, so, or 14th, so no real matter twice. Joe picked up a 3-second time penalty there, and now has DRS on Stiggy though, but is too far behind, and we've got Speed Iceman. Oh, he rejoined the battle for about 30 seconds, and now has fallen out. He went in a little bit too hot out off the DRS there. I don't even know if he even got it, but he definitely overshot the corner. As we're starting lap 9 now. And this time I do believe Joe will get the move done. Oh, actually he's a bit far back and he's not actually pushing on the ERS and can't get the move done. The gap at the front has increased like absolutely incredibly. I do apologise if you can hear a knife and fork, and if I'm not speaking as much, some food has arrived for me, so I'm trying to make it as subtle as possible. So if you hear me momentarily not speak, it's because I'm trying to eat. But Heavy T has lost a lot of time. He's still losing time to Stiggy, but Nippo is pulling like 6 or 7 tenths a lap now. Heavy T's out of DRS. It's absolutely incredible. I still think the set to 1. Carmeds is out, so a promising qualifying there for the Williams, and perhaps more points to get him into the double figures is probably now over. As Muffin's down in 15th, and Carmeds is a retiree. Joe still stuck behind. This is the only battle on track at the moment that I really want to pay attention to. The battle for P13 or P12 isn't exactly. It would be interesting for two cars involved, but also I'm going to focus on the battle for the podium, because it's the podium. Joe struggling now, especially on the ERS department. Stiggy doing a lot better, currently on 50%, meanwhile Joe is struggling to get above 10%. So that I was eating. Yeah, Giroux running a little bit deep, and Mr. Sneaky and Patuka are both on him. Drew has just pit, so I do expect he may get away soon. But he needs to make sure he's not going to lose any positions in the meantime. He has come out just ahead. So technically it is clear air, but not the sort he would want. He doesn't fancy probably being tailed by two cars. Oh, and that's Stiggy coming into the pits. So Stiggy's going for the undercut and trying to gain a bit more of an advantage on Joe. Let's see where the Haas driver comes out. Oh, he didn't get held there by the McLaren. Oh, Mr. Sneaky. Oh, he's had a big off there. He was in that battle. He was right behind Giroux, sorry. And Giroux is going to come out behind Speed Iceman. Yes, he is. Just behind Speed Iceman, and Stiggy has got a pretty comfortable lead and a pretty nice clean air. Has pretty nice clean air. So got a lovely helicopter shot as they come through turns 3 and 4. Battles now down for P13 and P14. Well, actually it isn't. It's an AI car of Null, who isn't actually last. And Mr. Sneaky is retired and left. Not good for the Red Bulls. Strong showing last week, and now have no points this week. As Nipro comes into the pits, so does Heavy T. And so does Joe, and probably so does JTX. Actually, no, JTX is going to carry on because he doesn't want to double stack with his teammate and lose more time. Nipro's going to come out in P3. Jesus. All he's got is a leady to get past because JTX is going to pit this lap, so completely in the driver's seat now for Nipro. Not much to do at all. Well, Stiggy's undercut attempt hasn't worked out terrifically. This Patuka picks up a penalty. They're still within DRS range. Joe is a bit further behind. But now Stiggy's going to be stuck behind Heavy T, who's actually... Yeah, Heavy T, who's actually lost a lot of time. So Stiggy has gained a lot, so has Joe. So Heavy T's made another mistake somewhere. This could be a battle for P2 soon. As that was Stiggy a couple of corners ago, running wide. Now, it could be the point in the race where there is no battles, which is obviously a shame. But they've got that one with Giroux and Speed Iceman. But for now, I think I'm going to mute my mic. So if you don't hear me commentating, I am just going to finish off my eating. A bit unprofessional if I'm eating on mic. And I'll let these two battle it out, because it's the only real battle for the moment. back, and B has retired from the session. We've got Stiggy and Mike going at it, and Stiggy's got the move done. And we did see on stream Heavy T and Stiggy, not Heavy T and Stiggy. Ooh, wow, Mike, not giving that one up. Mike and Heavy T go at it, and also Nipro and Leddy. Somehow I got spectator in the race, so I can't race because it was AI already started. Oh, unlucky. Ooh. Bad time for hiccups now. Very unlucky for Null, but your teammate is winning the race, so not to worry in constructors wise. Jaruru is doing very well to rebuild his race here. Started 5th, I think. Went down to the last through turn 1 and down into turn 2. And is now in net P6 fighting for P4. So a really good rebuild here from Jaruru. He's actually probably going to start higher than where he actually finished where he started. Higher than he started. So very good there from the Renault. So you've got Joe and Mike going at it. Mike hasn't got any DRS. Oh, hello, Jaru's got a double toe here around the outside of both of them. Yes, please. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, no, it's not up. And almost went off the track, but he's kept the position. And Joe and Mike were completely off guard, obviously, about the Renault that just breezed past them with considerable ease, and Joe is really struggling to get past Mike here. Mike not letting any position go. I don't know why Mike's actually going so slowly. Has Mike got any wing damage? Yes, Mike does. That'd be right. Iceman now passing Joe, and he's not going to have a look at oh wow, Joe with an absolute excellent run has done them both, and now Speed Iceman's got Mike done. Wow, Joe out of turn 2, that was an incredible run and got past both of Speed Iceman and Mike. Very impressive from the Racing Point. This race now for Mike is not going great, as yeah, just falling down the grid. With that wing damage, and he's practically lost DRS now on Speed Iceman. Now Heavy T has caught up to the back of ESD Mats, and that may have given Heavy T DRS. I'm not sure, but it's definitely given Stiggy DRS. Maybe Stiggy didn't get any DRS. I thought he would have, but he didn't. And now Nipro leads by 10 seconds. Absolutely crazy. There's a few more battles. Speed Iceman and Joe again. GTX passes Muffin, and Muffin gets a 3-second time penalty. He's actually going to come back at him up the inside of turn 3 and gets the move done on GTX. Wow. Muffin on 3 times as old as tyres in GTX and out tractions him. Very neat work from the Williams driver trying to fight for points. I believe Muffin is bottom of the championship as well, so that would be great for him. Nipro picks up a 3-second time penalty, but it's not going to mean much. However, Stiggy's a lot closer to Heavy T this time. I'll double check on Muffin. Yeah, Muffin bottom of the championship with 1 point. Has got a point, and did get that back in Baku. But yeah. Stiggy DRS still too far back, definitely for now, but just closing in on his prey. And there are a few battles now as JTX I think has actually passed Muffin. Oh, Muffin's I would say taking a detour is an understatement. Well, where is he going? Oh, I mean, Muffin, there is a track. Muffin has got wing damage, but slightly weird detour. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep on board with the Williams driver to see where he ends up, probably to the pit lane or a wall. That's another penalty for corner cutting. I've got a feeling they could be going to the pits to retire as Patika comes in. Oh, that's off the track again. And I think this is a pit stop for Muffin, and I think it's a retirement for Muffin as well. And yep, and Speed Iceman is going side by side with Joe here, coming through turn 3. Speed Iceman's going to have to... He's got the inside line. Joe, is he going to try and hang it around the outside? He is. Speed Iceman really struggling there on the exit, but has been able to keep the position now and got P5. And Muffin's retired, so that's the technically 6th, but it is the 5th retirement of this race. Joe is right all over the rear end of Speed Iceman. Joe is on 1 lap fresher tyres. Now it should be fairly comfortable for Joe, not actually pushing on the ERS at all. And yep, easily got the move done up into P5 for the racing point, and Speed Iceman overshoots the corner a little bit. Not sure, Speed Iceman got wing damage? Yes! Oh, I don't know where Speed Iceman got that from. That would be why, and Nipro's not really gaining an advantage. I just want to double check on his front wing, you know. Lovely camera angle game. Oh, I've not even noticed, but Stiggy's got past Heavy T. Heavy T now is going to probably fight back. No. Just not. I thought he would fight back, he's just not. And Heavy T's now got to stick behind Stiggy and runs a little bit wide. The battle between these two is going to come down to penalties. Giroux's only 2.2 seconds off. Now he's 1.9. Giroux's going to get brought into this battle and might actually get P2 off the pair of them. And that is definitely a driver of the day worthy. Either way, Nipro, we kind of knew was going to win. Yeah, winning and dominating the race is really good, but starting 5th, dropping to the back of the grid and perhaps getting 2nd place is going to be absolutely incredible. And the longer these two battle, the more Girourou's just going to gain a control. Is not the wisest of things. I don't recommend it. But anyway, Girourou not that far back. Heavy T with a bit of DRS. Cannot get anything done for now. Just in case anyone's wondering, I will double check on ILR7 and ILR5 for you once an ad disappears. Yeah. Actually on the same lap as us. But yeah, Nicky's winning that race. And then ILR8, where I heard there was a pile up as Patuka gets the fastest lap. And Heavy T runs wide, doesn't want to get a penalty for it. Oh, lovely helicopter shot here of these two. With a Renault in the background. I wish that lasted a little bit longer, to be honest. Straw Blonde is winning in ILR 8. So we'll go back to actually ILR 6, which is us. As it stands, Nipro's going to extend his championship lead, which will be over Girourou, not Patuka. And the gap, if it was to stay like this, 104 points to Girourou with 5 rounds to go. So we actually can win the championship next week. As it stands, yeah, he can win the championship next week. Absolutely incredible for Nipro. Constructors ain't going to be that far off either. MVT really close to Sticky. Girourou wants to get in there, but I'm not going to check penalties for the moment. And my controller's a bit dying. MVT losing it in the corners, making mistakes. I've noticed when he was behind Nipro, was prone to making mistakes for some strange reason. There's are about to be 5 laps to go at the Russian Grand Prix. And what we basically know now is that Nipro's going to be the champion. Obviously not at the end of this week. Possibly after Japan, we could be celebrating a Nipro championship. Is highly on the cards. It would be an absolute miracle if he wasn't. Sticky no longer wants a safety car. No, I don't think so. I think he would mind if Heavy T left him alone. Oh, Patuka's out. No, safety car? No. Patuka's out, so that is technically the 6th retirement. Heavy T is getting desperate behind that Haas, and Heavy T picks up a penalty. Not what he wants. Not what he wants, and not what he needs. At this present day and age, there's not that long to go. I don't know why I said present day and age, but oh well. DRS again for Heavy T. He's got more ERS than Sticky. Girourou now has DRS on Heavy T. Oh no! And Heavy T's at the back of Sticky. And oh no, Heavy T has got wing damage. Oh no, 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 this is going bad to worse now for Heavy T. He's just got a penalty, and now he's going to be definitely under pressure from that Renault, and that Renault is all over the back of that gearbox of the Mercedes. And as these guys start lap 24, Heavy T will fight it. Heavy T's got the slipstream. Giroux's got more of it though, because he's a lot closer. He's not going to go for it. Stiggy locks up. Oh, Giroux with a bit of... I think he locked up his rears there. It's pretty unusual to see, but a bit scary in the car when you do lock up your rears, because you don't really expect it. But this is the main battle we're going to focus on now, probably till the end of the race. Not Giroux, Stiggy is pulling out of that second range, is what he needs. He doesn't want to be under pressure from Giroux. And the gap is now above a second, so Stiggy can breathe a sigh of relief for now. As now it will determine how long it takes for Giroux to get past Heavy T, and if Stiggy can pull a big enough gap, then I don't think he'll need to worry about Giroux. Heavy T is definitely struggling with that wing damage. Definitely struggling. But Stiggy making a few errors in this final sector, not what he needs when there's 3 laps to go now. It's definitely not a good final sector for the pair of these two either. The gap's 1.3. I don't see Heavy T keeping this position. And nope, here comes Giroux flying past. And is a full car length ahead before turn 2. And now it is a chase for Giroux. He hasn't got long to try. He has to try and catch up to Stiggy first of all. Then he's got to pass him. And he's got just shy of 3 laps to do it. Nipro, well, unless the commentator's curse comes and bites him, he's won this race. Absolutely dominated it, and it shows that he is dominating the championship as well. And oh, voice has really died there. Yeah, I think he'll be the first one in ILR across all platforms, I think, to win the championship first, as in the earliest to win it, possibly winning it at Japan. Giroux not within DRS range, but Stiggy in this final sector is where Stiggy is vulnerable. And you can see here Giroux slowly gaining on that Haas. Gap is literally 1 second. And Giroux's got DRS. I think this will go down to the last lap for the pair of them. Actually, it's not DRS for Giroux, so... oh, a bit more relief there for Stiggy. As they break into turn 2 for the second to last time. And Joe picks up a penalty. Currently in 5th. Speed Iceman might get that position. But what we do know is that Nipro will take the race win. Second coming between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Joe and Iceman. Aledi might get it as well. Aledi, not doing too bad. If you look at the position changes quickly. That's the wrong one. Aledi up 10. Started down in 17th and might get a few more positions, I don't know. EST Max has actually just picked up a penalty, so that may have just covered Aledi off. But now Giroux's got DRS, and this is going to be interesting because it's going to be on the final lap into turn 2 is where Giroux is going to have to try and go for it. Bear in mind, Heavy T with the wing damage, he's not actually dropped off, he is still there. But as Nipro starts the last lap, you've now got these 3 fighting out for P2. going to the last lap. Stiggy, if I go and double check now, I don't know if he's had a podium this season. Yes, Stiggy's had 2 actually. One in Hungary and one in China, is that his? No, not China, Baku. So, will be his 3rd of the season, and he's too far ahead of Giroux. Giroux now has to get real close. And I mean real close to the back of that Haas to try and go for it into sector 3. Giroux's all over the back of him, as he needs to be. Fight for P2. This is crucial for Giroux to try and limit the gap between him and Nipro. As Nipro is actually coming for the middle sector, about to approach the final one. There we go now, make or break time for Giroux. It's not a great exit compared to Stiggy. Stiggy's got a half a second advantage down this straight. Oh, Giroux might actually go for this. Giroux might lunge it. Giroux might lunge this. He's going to have to switch to the inside. No, he doesn't. He hangs fire. Oh, he's locked up the rears, but it doesn't matter about that now. Nipro around the final corner. And Nipro wins in Sochi fairly comfortably. And it looks like Stiggy's going to get P2. But it all will now come down to penalties. Stiggy wanted a safety car in the past few weeks. Doesn't want one this time. Hasn't got one. Stiggy crosses the line in second. Giroux gets second. And Stiggy gets third. So Stiggy gets his podium. Giroux second. Heavy Teen fourth. Joe fifth. Iceman fifth. Joe sixth. Ledi sixth. Joe seventh. Yesty Mats 8th, JTX, I think it's going to get 9th. Yep, 9th. Lord Alam is going to get 10th. Big Zuri. And that is that. So the top 3 celebrating. Nipro celebrating his 5th win of the season and has practically put him in a chance to win the championship next week. Has bounced back from the horror of Singapore where he didn't finish and has just bounced back to a victory. Okay, Codemasters? Just tell the middle of the screen, why don't you? But yeah, Nipro is your winner, Giroux second, Stiggy third, that's your top 3. Heavy T 4th, Speed Iceman 5th, Ledi 6th, Joe 7th, Yesimat 8th, J6 9th and Big Zuri 10th, that's your points finishers. Outside the top 10 who did finish, Lord Alam, Mike. No, Lord Alam, basically. And your non-finishers were Mike, Noel, Patuka, Muffin, B, Sneaky, Comets and Scott. Right, that has been it from me. Sorry about the blue screen, but I need to end this quickly. Yeah, that has been it from me, Leon. That has been it for ILR6. And we'll see you next week for round 17 in Japan.